Day 4, Part 1, Dreams and Goals. If we consider the core teachings of Christ, Buddha, and Lord Krishna, there are several consistent and common threads. Today, on Day 4, I'd like to look at one of them, desire. Desire has the ability to bring us some of the most gratifying experiences. And at the same time, desire can cause much suffering, which is why I wanted to touch on it during this workshop. Answer this question honestly for me. What is the first thing that comes to mind when I say the word desire? The first thing that came to my mind was sex, which is coming up in part 2. But for now, let's take a look at our dreams and our goals. I will say, though, that sexual desire is much stronger than our desire to reach our dreams and goals. However, sex is more private and intimate versus our desire to reach our dreams and goals, but we are more open about our goals. We share our goals with our family, our friends, and even sometimes strangers. Therefore, the pressure to bring these goals to fruition is much higher. Think of your classmates, your family members. Think of yourself. People that you know well enough to recall what their dreams, goals, and aspirations are. Of all those people, including you, how many can you say actually made it, quote unquote, made it, or fully manifested those things they set out to? For those who made it, I wonder what percentage of them are fulfilled and at peace with what they created or manifested. Did they set another dream or goal, which is fine. But is it possible that it's a vicious cycle? You know how they say, oh, I'll be happy when I graduate college, start my career. You graduate college, you start your career. I'll be happy when I get married and have a family. So you get married and you have a family. Well, I'll be happy when my kids go off to school. You know, it's one thing after the other, one goal after the other, one desire after the other. It has the potential to be a cycle, a never-ending cycle. And what about those who haven't made it, quote unquote, made it, or reached their goals? For those who experience major disappointment, where do they go from there? Trust me, I know from personal experience, it's not an easy place of existence, especially without the knowledge of self. Which is why it is essential that we discover our true self. There are deep levels of liberation, peace, and freedom that come with this way of life. I feel confident in saying that one who identifies his or her goals would be highly likely to choose a slightly different goal, a slightly different path once they know self. I am willing to bet that someone who has a dream would likely have somewhat of a different dream once they discover their divinity. Even if the dream or the goal isn't different, the motive and the intention streaming from your higher self will provide the clarity and insight to choose more wisely. Please know, I am not here to discourage anyone from setting high goals and dreaming big, because let's face it, we live in a society where it requires money, it requires finances to survive, to support families, to maintain a certain level of life. So please, go for it. My friends and family can tell you without a doubt that I'm one of the biggest dreamers that ever lived. There's nothing wrong with having them. What I propose to you is that having a certain level of knowledge of yourself will bring a much clearer vision of what your dreams and goals should look like. Most times people are setting goals contingent upon the payout, the paycheck. People seek out attention and applause for validation. We perform for accolades because we desire approval from outside sources. But when you know who you are, when you know that you are already approved, when you know you are divine, you already know that you're validated. Channel some of that desire for you, for your higher self, for knowledge of self. You need you before you can truly offer yourself to others. Before you dream, be sure you awaken. Awaken to your true self, your divinity. Day 4, Part 2, Sexual Desire. Sexual desire, in my opinion, is the most powerful human desire. Human sexuality is a combination of biology, instincts, and social components, among many other things that are widely misunderstood. Last but not least, sex is very spiritual. Although for the masses, it's purely a physical act, and they're unfortunately ignorant to the non-physical aspect of it. Not to mention the damage that has been done through false religious doctrine, unnatural teachings, and the lack of understanding about sex. People have been manipulated into suppressing a God-given gift. This is a fact. Balance is key. It's something people who know me personally will tell you that I say often. But when it comes to sexual desire and managing a healthy sexual lifestyle, it's not so much about balance. What is key is discovering your divinity. Once you know who you truly are, meaningless, low vibrational sex will be completely undesirable. Once you have knowledge of self, you won't be as attracted to people you may have had a strong desire for in the past. Once you truly awaken, you will have non-physical experiences with yourself that will be so deep, so gratifying, and satisfying that your excessive carnal sexual desires will also become divine, balanced, and healthy. Let's take a look at the world and how unrealistic religious expectations that people struggle to implement them have failed. We see it every day. The negative effects of these false teachings, broken homes, sexually transmitted diseases, sex crimes, and the underworld of the sex trade. We have a sexual epidemic. We can't forget there's great purpose in sexual intimacy. This is how we procreate. This is how we are fruitful and multiply. This is how two souls become one. There is so much beauty there. There is much purpose there. There is much greatness there. It's not anything to be ashamed of. It just takes effort in understanding what those desires are. It takes effort in respecting that union, that act, that connection. It's possible. It's needed. And it takes each of us looking within and discovering the greatness that we hold, the greatness that we are. It's so precious. It's so amazing. And it is my prayer that each of you, under the sound of my voice, will find it will seek it, will discover it, which is your divinity. Day 4, Part 3, Acceptance. Everyone wants to be accepted. The desire to be accepted is very strong indeed. Everyone wants to be included and acknowledged. Even those who are shy and don't necessarily like the spotlight have an underlying desire for acceptance in some form. From being small kids on the playground to full-grown adults on social media, we find some form of gratification from being included in the game of tag and getting lots of likes on our Facebook posts. It's true. We crave it. It brings us a sense of inclusion, a sense of belonging. Knowing who you are intimately and at your core will provide an undeniable sense of belonging. Connecting to the source, the creator, the divine. The kingdom within you comes with the strongest sense of belonging you will ever encounter here on this earth. You will be instantly connected to a thread of infinite intelligence, connected to the force of life, with which comes a great sense of peace, clarity, and insight. You will be unmovable, unshakable. You will be set free from the torture and suffering that longing for acceptance sometimes brings. As we wrap up day 4, we have taken a look at desire. Desire is like fire. It either purifies us or consumes us. Throughout the process of my gaining knowledge of myself, which is a process indeed, being delivered from suffering through desire is one of the many fruits that I enjoy most. Don't misunderstand me. I still have desires. I will as long as I live in this physical body. However, being connected to who I truly am at my core has provided me the ability to see the greater thing. I am no longer consumed by my desire. I have the ability to rise from desire and become the witness of it. Continue to seek out your divine self. Continue to seek the kingdom of God within you. As you get closer, as you continue to unravel your God self, strong desire will fade away. Your desire for the greater things of life will take wings and fly, taking you to the higher heights of freedom, liberty, and peace. Affirm with me today. You are aware of desire, and from this day forward, you will become more of the witness of your desire and less of the one who suffers through it. You will now have the ability to make clear and precise decisions about those things that you desire, bringing you into a place of power like never before. It's time for our daily exercise, at least 9 times, maybe more, right? Say this with me. I am the watcher. I am the witness of all things that pass before my awareness. I am free from suffering through desire. I am now empowered and free to enjoy desire as it comes and watch it as it goes. I am the witness of all things. I am divine. Peace and progress.